Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest is the man behind MD Latino, Kit Sanderson. He's here to tell us all about an excellent event happening very soon, happening February 14 through 16 in Medellin, Colombia. This is the third annual Sheru Classic Colombia and the fifth or seventh? Seventh annual Expo Fitness, huge event. So tell us a little bit about your experience. You've been going to this show for a few years now, right?
Yeah, so the Expo Fitness started as a regional show with the IFBB Amateur 7 years ago.
Okay.
Very similar to some events they have regionally in Cali, in Bogota. This show is in Medellin every year. So if you like curvy women, if you're like a preppy town, it's kind of like a college town party. It's safe. It's a lot of fun. Medellin is a blast to go to. It doesn't matter where you come from in the world. Medellin's always a fun place, and it's very affordable. A couple years later, they started doing an Olympia Amateur for the first time. The first year was this would be the fifth year actually now. So 4 years ago, they started with the Olympia Amateur series with the IFBB Amateur.
Yeah.
When there was the breakup between the IFBB Amateur and the NPC, the promoters from the Expo Fitness, David Otero and Jorge Quiros, decided to go with the NPC. Better organization, they care about the athletes. And overall, this event, the Expo Fitness, I will say, has brought up the perception of Latin American bodybuilding, especially nationally and regionally in Colombia and South America. I will say, Ron, you're not going to like this very much, but 7 years ago, if you were a bodybuilder in Colombia, people just didn't look, they looked down on bodybuilders. It was kind of like, ugh, yuck, roaches, you know?
Really?
And one thing that this show has brought is commercial value to bodybuilding. They really have helped change the perception of bodybuilding and fitness in Colombia and South America. And now, I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys like Fernando Chala, Julio Castañino, all these guys have a lot of followers. It is an event with 5 pavilions, and it packs. People want to see the physiques. They want to see the IFBB pros. They want to see the Olympia Amateur. So we're talking about an event in its 7th year that has an expo with 5 pavilions, which is the Expo Fitness. There's an amateur component where you can qualify for your IFBB Pro card called the Mr. Olympia Amateur South America.
Yep.
And the third component is what we're going to talk about today is the Sheru Classic, which is in its 3rd year. So obviously, you know, the Sheru Classic comes from India, Sheru, English.
Right. Yep.
3 years ago, he kind of partnered up with Jorge and David from Expo Fitness, and they did their first Sheru Classic, which was fabulous. They had Andre Ferguson there, Edmund Raymonds, a whole huge lineup of men's physique and women's bikini.
Yep.
They decided to do it again this year, which is its 2nd year. And they had a stellar lineup of a whole bunch of pros that went to the Olympia. Isa Piccini, who was the Miss Bikini Olympia winner this year.
Yeah.
Ali Fernandez from Mexico, Romina Basualdo. She didn't qualify this year, but she's been in the Olympia 3 times.
Many times. Yeah.
Kim Gutierrez from Chile. Attila Santiago with the curly hair. Everybody knows her for wonderful hair.
She was wasn't she top 5 in the Olympia too?
Yes. So, you know, in Fernando Chala, who's a really popular men's physique pro who went to the Olympia this year. So a lot of big names come from all over the world in Latin America for this show. Americans, Canadians, Europeans, and that's kind of where we're at now.
And you added he added classic physique for 2020.
That's right. So that's really groundbreaking because the Expo Fitness was able to take one franchise, successfully mold it and grow it, which was the Mr. Olympia Amateur. Okay. Yeah. And it has sustainability. This is 5th year for the Olympia Amateur. Now, on the 3rd year, coming up this February 14th, the 16th, we also have the Sheru Classic in its 3rd consecutive year and adding another pro category. So they're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Also with Classic Physique, this is a little more conducive or coincides more with the local culture. They like that fit, that mold of the classic Frank Zing type of physique, Lee Labrada. And this is something that's going to be very popular. There are a small handful of pro Colombian classic physique competitors, but there are a lot of new IFBB pros in this division all over the world in Latin America. So you're going to see a lot of people trying to qualify for the Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. And also, you look at the timing of it, it's 2 weeks before the Arnold Classic Ohio. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of guys doing both shows. They'll be doing this either as a warm up or, just they're in shape. So they're just going to hit a few shows in a row. So this is a great chance for pros to hit. They can do that show. Then 2 weeks later is Ohio. Then 2 weeks after that is Australia. This gives them a lot of options.
I will say, too, the Arnold Classic, you have to be invited.
Right.
It's an invite. This, you don't have to be invited. It's open. It's a newer franchise. And this is a hungry franchise. It's going to pack. One thing I noticed about U.S. shows, aside from the Arnold or Tampa Bay or New York, you could hear those crowds. But a lot of U.S. shows, you don't hear the crowd anymore.
It can be a little subdued.
Yeah. And maybe because it's the internet, whatever, people are lazy. But this show and several other shows like it in Latin America, they pack and you can hear that crowd. It's very loud and very alive.
So let's see. What else? You got some points here, some info about the show. Además, you ready? I'm going to try to read in Spanish. You ready? Here we go.
Go for it.
Además de participar en competencia, es una excelente vitrina para las marcas de la región que quieren realizar alianzas con atletas pro internacionales, brands from all over the world. So it won't be just local South American supplement brands. You're going to have pretty much all the major companies are going to be heading down. Is this the largest expo in South America?
I think it's tied with the Arnold Classic in Sao Paulo. But what really draws me to this show, besides the fact that it's in Medellin, your currency goes a lot farther in Medellin, is that it's more diverse. You really are getting an even lineup. Well, I think the Arnold Classic Brazil really is the Arnold Classic Brazil. Brazilian brands, Brazilian culture, Brazilian language, Brazilian athletes, Brazil. Right. The Mr. Olympia Amateur, the Expo Fitness Medellin and Sheru, you're getting the most diverse lineup of athletes from the Americas. You're getting the most diverse lineup of judges, okay? And the most diverse lineup of different sports nutrition and other fitness concept brands. So this is really where, if you take a look at Colombia, it is your first stop into South America. So regionally, or we're talking logistically, you're getting Caribbean, you're getting South America, you're getting Mexico, which is another giant market. We'll talk about another program, and the United States market, and of course Canada.
And you're going to be doing full coverage, including, as you always do, live stream. You're going to be live streaming this on mdlatino.com. So great opportunity for people to, if they compete in this, they will be seen all over the world. Easy for their friends and family. If they can't make it down to Medellin, they can watch it on MD Latino's webcast.
It's a production too this time. Every webcast that we do, it can vary between the quality just because of the logistic, what the budget is. I'm being very honest. But this particular show gets a 5-star production every single year. And this is, I think, the 5th time we've been live streaming this show. Wow. So this really is a production, and it's backed by the NPC and the IFBB Pro League, this show. So you got NPC, IFBB Pro League regulations, rules, judging, format. They're taking care of the athletes. It's very important to know. And in the Sheru Classic, you can qualify for the Olympia.
Yeah. And you said last year was all IFBB Pro League judges from the U.S., right?
Yes.
For the most part?
Yeah.
So probably do that again.
The head judge was actually Tyler Mannion. I know that Maz Ali was there and a couple other familiar faces. So they always make it a lot of fun.
Now, what is this fitness tourism? It's an opportunity for fitness tourism. What does that phrase mean?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, Ron, because as the IFBB Pro League has expanded so many shows now and opened up so many opportunities, not just for U.S. and Canadian athletes, but for athletes from all over the world, it's open. So, okay, let's say you and your wife compete or your girlfriend compete. you could stick around Medellin for a couple of days, and it's a fun place to be.
Yeah.
So, the last thing you want to do is travel, get on a plane ticket, pay all of this money. But the costs to go to Medellin are either equal or even less than a lot of U.S. shows.
Right.
Because the dollar goes so far and there's so much traffic between Medellin, it's a commonplace people travel to now. So if you're going, this is a new concept, fitness tourism, where you go compete and stick around for a couple of days and enjoy the local cuisine, the culture, maybe the nightlife. And in Medellin, Colombia, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's also an opportunity. Obviously, all these shows are an opportunity for athletes now from anywhere in the world to come and try to get their pro card. Up until very recently, you had to be in your own country, or there were a couple international shows a year, and that was it.
A lot
But
of people.
now we have shows like this where you could live in Michigan or Oregon or whatever and head down to Medellin February 14th through 16th, try to get your pro card.
That's
And
right.
then stick around, have a good time for a couple of days after that, whether you get your card or not. So
Yeah, it's a good lineup. It's a good lineup too. They always expect around 500 competitors.
Wow.
It's not as large as nationals, but it's very diverse. The lineup, you don't know who's going to be in there. You could have one of Canada's best, Mexico's best. Somebody can come from Peru that's never been seen before and just mop the floor in his class.
Yeah.
So I will say that they do give the pro card only to the overalls.
Yeah.
One first, second, and third overall. And if the class is short, it's only first and second overall, which I tend to agree with, because you really do want the best of the best winning the pro card. Right. However, just giving it to one overall at a show with 500 competitors is a little.
Yeah, that's weak.
Skimpy, it's a little.
That is stingy.
Yeah, that is stingy. So I think it's a very fair opportunity for the amateurs.
Now, this has got to have an amazing wellness category. It has to. It's Colombia.
Right. Okay, so the Sheru is only going to be a pro. We know it's a pro show with bikini, women's bikini, men's physique, and classic physique.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is open to all the world. You do not need an invitation. That means if you're a new pro, you can get your feet wet and maybe even qualify for the Olympia. If you got it, show it. Yeah. The Olympia Amateur will be the first pro qualification for wellness
in
for
the
2012.
World.
2020. Wow. Correct. The second will be at the Arnold, Ohio. Thank you, Bob. Great decision. And it is a lot of fun. You and I have talked about wellness before.
Yeah. So this will be the first. This is historic. This will be the first time anyone turns pro as a wellness competitor at this show. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all you women out there who've been doing your hip thrusts and your squats and your lunges, step up to the plate. Get your card here.
Absolutely.
Okay. So for more information, because there's going to be a lot more info added as the weeks come, we're going to start to hear about pros and other people committing to the show, and there's going to be lots of opportunities. So they want to go to Instagram. The Instagram is Sheru Classic Latin America, all one word, Sheru Classic Latin America. They have a website for the Expo. It's, I don't know how they got this, expofitness.com. That's like the most generic. That had to be, they must have got that when the internet started, like 1995 or something.
I tell you what, these promoters are pros, man. Anybody that comes to this show is going to have a good time. It is a good time down there.
And of course, full coverage by mdlatino.com. Nobody covers these shows like Kit Sanderson, people. Nobody.
Listen, we don't care where you're from. We want to know if you're going to compete in the Sheru Classic, write us, DM us at mdlatino. You can inbox us or write us through our website in our inbox at mdlatino.com, or write Ron Harris. We want to know if you're going to compete in this show. We want to get your name in the paper, as they say. We want to promote you. We want to give you that support. This is old school publishing, media publishing. And we're creating a story here. We're creating history. The Sheru Classic is a new legacy. Now the athletes have more opportunities than ever, not just to turn pro, but to compete as a pro. Before in Latin America, to compete as a pro, you had to travel to the United States.
Yeah.
Now you don't. You got Brazil, you got Colombia. Now you're going to have Mexico soon. It's very interesting.
All right, everybody. So Hopefully you guys are excited. I'm excited. Someday I'm going to get to this event. Someday. So that is the Sheru Classic, Medellin, Colombia, February 14th through 16th. One more time, you can go on Instagram, follow it on social media at Sheru Classic Latin America, and the expo is online at expofitness.com. Kit, thank you so much for letting us know about this event. We'll be hearing more and talking more about it as we get a little closer to the show date. But this is exciting. It's December. This gives people time to make their arrangements, start
That's
prepping,
right.
get your ducks in a row, as we say.
Don't get fat on Christmas.
Yeah, well, it's too bad. Some of us already got fat. But anyway, all right. Thank you so much, Kit, and doing an amazing job with mdlatino.com. You know, we love. We're very privileged to have you as a partner because you're doing the type of coverage that very few people do anymore. Very few people go to the links that you go to get these athletes the exposure that they really deserve. So great job, man.
Styles in England and Europe, and Braulio down in Brazil.
Yeah.
You know, and you're in the United States and North America. I'm in Miami. Hop, skip, and a jump from Latin America. So, you know the slogan.
What is it?
Never surrender.
Never surrender. Oh wait,
Right.
just turn around and show it.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. Never surrender.
I thought you were gonna make me do the Kevin Leveroni thing where we do shaboom at the end.
No, that's Kevin's.
All right, man. Thank you everybody for watching Ronline Report with Kit Sanderson. We've been talking about the Sheru Classic Colombia, February 14th through 16th. Check it out. Thanks for watching.
Ciao.